We have so much information. It's just outrageous. I mean, let's start with Big Mouth. Hillary screaming, "What difference does it make?" And all of the Benghazi drama coming out today through as little as it comes out. I mean, Fox News has to report something because the sheeple would not believe that there'd be no reporting at all of the Benghazi thing, had it not been for Fox or any of the. They're touched upon. But you know, MSNBC and all of the mainstream controlled networks and cable companies are certainly downplaying the Benghazi. You can call it Benghazi Gate if you want to. I mean, after all, it's going to turn into something to be really, really bad. I haven't had the time to really look deeply into it, but certainly the efforts of all of the people to share this information. Most of you are aware of what's happened. The fact that Hillary Clinton and Shillery Clinton and Rice and all of these other people are culpable, certainly because the intelligence was changed. It was a false story, a cover story, for some reason, which makes no sense to me. There was a cover story that stated that a radicalized anti-Muslim movie caused this tremendous demonstration. And nowhere was this demonstration. This was a fabrication. It was an illusion. It was, again, a design deception against the American people. And then certainly it blew up in their faces, and everybody continues to try to cover all this truth up, and it leads to the president, of course, similarly like Watergate. I mean, this is outrageous what's gone on. I'll broadcast some of the and cut together some of the testimonies of the people, congressmen, and people that are clearly just like trying to cover Hillary Clinton's ass, make her look okay. And I had posted earlier, it wasn't long ago, a couple of days back, I posted the Clinton Chronicles, which really does chronicle the deception of the Clinton regime going back to Arkansas political machine set up by Winthrop Rockefeller. It's a very, very deep web, including the drug cartels, the connection between the CIA bringing cocaine into Mena, Arkansas. And this, of course, is, part of the illusion is that, all of these politicians are all these great people, but the truth are they're criminals. That goes back, and it's interestingly enough, Clinton was not he was a Rhodes Scholar, but he didn't finish. The also truth is that the Rhodes Scholar was set up by Cecil Rhodes, who in essence was basically involved in the early opium trades of the 18th century. Excuse me, the 19th century, the 1800s, 1850s, and such. And he was complicit in the whole idea of the opium wars and creating all of Australia, bringing all these people there, and Rhodesia, of course, was originally called Rhodesia. This is history. It's the true history. It's the elites, these secret societies that are banded together, the highest of which on intellectual level is the Jason Society. Look that up, Jason Society, not the Jason Group, the Jason Society. And then also you'd have to look at, of course, the Freemasons have a big connection into this on the highest levels. The 32nd and 33rd degrees are split in half. There are two sides. There are those that are a part of the conspiracy and those that are not. It's very elaborate and very true. And of course, the connection to the Knights of Malta and the Vatican is undeniable. And we have popes that have brought us, and they invoke the New World Order. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going off into some rather, I guess, digression into a rather, controversial territory. Just try to get back to what's going on today. So what's the difference? So what do we have? We have what difference does it make? Hillary telling her thing there. We have the shock testimony from witnesses. We have all of this whistleblower nightmarish stuff. They're blocking whistleblowers from talking. Obama is like the worst with the whistleblowers in the last 40 years. It's incredible. Uh, in fact, we can see this being a turning point. And now, of course, we also have the mainstream media's attention right now is obviously on this case with the girls that were held for 10 years in a basement like sex slaves. It's just horrible. I mean, but this is what they show you in the movies. This is what your horror movies are about. So, art imitating life, right? Or is it life imitating art? I think it's more like life imitating art with all of this same psyop going on with all of the other uh, aspects as far as violence, gun violence, sexual violence, dehumanization, and everything else. It's all through the media. Yeah, so now she wants to die, I suppose. Kill me, give me freedom. Um, that's what Jodi Arias wants. Apparently, she was in self-defense. She, shot her husband a dozen times or something and stabbed him like 50 times. And it's insane. I get self-defense. Cut his neck off almost. Well, these people are coming out of the woodwork for many, many reasons, these psychopaths. And a lot of it has to do with the media violence, the mind control, certainly frequency of weapons that are being used on us. There's no question about it. From my recent research, I understand it now. And there's also things that make you sick. Um, the fact that you have pharmaceutical companies, you have the fluoride in the water, all of these different additives to the foods, the GMO, we're all being sort of like modified into, and the modifications seems that we're breeding really crazy people that have no moral compass, that have no responsibility, that will, fall into this pattern of, having children that they can't afford and continuing to go in this pattern that is being set up and put together by a welfare system set up to design this to happen, to implode our economy as it's doing. We cannot keep 47 million people on welfare, food stamps, and then a total of 75 million people on some sort of government assistance. That's almost a third of the country. How can we prosper? How can you not understand that nothing has been done in the last 4 years? Nothing is going to be done in the next 4 years. They talk about the same things they talked about 4 years ago. Let's do some infrastructure changes. Let's get some highways and bridges and do the electrical infrastructure. They haven't done shit, and they won't do shit because they're deindustrializing us. That is the plan. And now we have all of these people that are finally hit the nail on some reason. There is some reason, and I don't know the reason, but there is some reason why they are focusing on a false cover story instead of the fact that it was a terrorist attack. Maybe because the people that did the terrorist attack, they didn't want them to know who it was. Maybe there was an assassination. I don't know. I don't know what they were planning or thinking. It's still up in the air to me on that. But certainly the cover-up was there. The lies were there. And it's out in the open now. It's just horrible, this thing in Benghazi. And of course, the media's now attention is on this terrible people that were put as sex slaves for 10 years, had children, 5 children were born. And you have Jodi Arias getting her sentence for she was found first-degree murder. And she's saying, kill me, give me freedom. What do you expect? What do you expect? We have this society that's listen to some of the stuff on Drudge. It's just unbelievable. You have Piers Morgan's producing a tabloid journalism TV drama. That's going to be sensational, I'm sure. Nordstrom's using smartphones to track customers' movements. Coke acts to fend off obesity. That's crazy, obviously, but then you're like hooked on cocaine. New normal for fast food, price cuts and stagnant sales. We have Green Day frontman ripping Korean rapper Psy. This dude is the herpes of music. Air Force, oh, this is important. The Air Force is actually stripping 17 officers of their power to launch nuclear missiles. I wonder what their reasoning behind this is, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty important. This is AP, and it says that it is an exclusive that a commander cites rot in nuke force. So it looks like Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel demanded more information Wednesday after the Air Force removed 17 launch officers from duty at a nuclear base in North Dakota over the what a commander called a rot in the force. The Air Force struggled to explain, acknowledging concern about an attitude problem, but telling Congress the weapons were secure. Interesting. Hagel reacted strongly after the Associated Press reported the unprecedented sidelining of the officers at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, where one of their commanders complained of such rot that even the willful violation of safety rules, including a possible compromise of launch codes, was tolerated. Interesting. So this is what we have. They call it rot. I don't know. AP quoted from an internal email written by Lieutenant Colonel Jay Folds, Deputy Commander of the 91st Operations Group, which is responsible for all Minutemen III missile launches at Minot. And he lamented the remarkably poor reviews they received in March at an inspection. The missile launch skills were rated marginal. Oh, so that's why they did it? Interesting. Well, this is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're dealing with. So, I don't know what else to say about the lies and absolute fabrications of the Obama administration. They just continue to go on and on and on, and the sheep will just keep believing it. But research everything I say. It's true. I don't have to tell you if you've watched the reports. I haven't had too much time to look at it yet, but I'm going to spend more time and put other reports out, but I haven't done a live stream in a while, and so here it is. And after all, it is important that we get this information out as quickly and as expeditiously as possible so that everyone can understand the PSYOP. The important thing is there is a deception going on with an ulterior motive. They want to hide the story. They wanted to change the truth of an actual terrorist attack. Meanwhile, in Boston, there was a terrorist attack, and it's right out in the open. And again, for some reason, Obama hastened to initially call it a terrorist attack. What is behind this? That's the question to ask. Thank you for watching Truth Talk News. I'm Howard Nima.